heartbreak. I don't need another turn to cry. No, I don't want another hard way. Baby, hello, oh no, goodbye. Never like a rocket, shooting straight across the sky. Love me. I feel like this. It's centrifugal motion. It's perpetual bliss. It's that moment. It's
Hi guys, thank you for tuning in for week 2. Woo woo, woo woo.
Chef Rock Hawaii in the house.
Chef joining the chat.
Hey!
Heyo.
Salute. What are you drinking today, Dan?
It's another Rhode Island beer. I'm going with Revival. It's a Hip Hoot. They're based out of Cranston. But it's a tangerine wheat ale aged in tequila barrels in honor of Cinco de Mayo.
Nice. Do you get a little hint of tequila in there?
It's smoky. It's pretty good.
It just comes off smoky?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
So for the people that joined, just so everybody's aware, this is our second show. We did show number 1 last Wednesday. We were able to raise $210, and we had a high of 32 people on, but I think there was a total of 64 viewers last week's show.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. Let's grow the following here. So for the people that
right, and tell them why are we raising money? Yeah.
Yeah. So of course, as everybody knows, they can't escape it on the news. COVID-19 is rampaging through the country, and as that's happening, unfortunately, millions and millions of people have been forced into unemployment. One of the largest hit areas is definitely the hospitality. What did you just do? Nicolette's fooling around over here. One of the largest groups that's been hit is the hospitality industry across the country, but specifically we're trying to raise money for Rhode Island. That being said, Chef Rock is from Hawaii, and the main reason we chose Rhode Island is he got his start from Johnson & Wales, and I was born and raised here, went to college here, all that good stuff. I've been spending my lovely lockdown in Cumberland, Rhode Island. So as we move forward, we were just trying to figure out a way that we could be giving back to the community and help those in need.
It's a great cause. You know, as I said the first show, if we got some repeats, I'm sorry you got to hear it again, but I went to Johnson & Wales School of Culinary Arts. A lot of my friends are still at the school, Steve Shipley, some other folks that work there.
Yep.
But a lot of the friends that I graduated with actually have restaurants there in town. And I feel real bad from the standpoint of what can we do to help outside of them opening up the state and everyone going back to restaurants. It's going to be a hard road. So I think you did a good thing, Dan and Nicolette, to open up the door there for people to at least make people aware how hard it is. So this is good.
Big pan
so
here.
Get that pan nice and hot.
Got it.
Not high heat, but like medium high. And when it's ready, we'll pour a little oil in, and we're going to cook up those eggs. So while it's heating...
Two scrambled, right?
Yeah, 2 scrambled. 3 if they're good friends. Oh, those look like large eggs. Yeah.
A couple large white eggs.
That's not bad. A couple large white eggs. Put them into a bowl. Give them a pre-whip.
Yep, scramble them up.
Yeah, make it different. So give them a good whip there, Dan.
Yep.
And then when that pan is hot, We're going to put a little oil in there, make sure it coats the bottom so you can, get the eggs cooking without sticking too much.
Yep.
So the way to test is when you put the oil in, just put enough to coat the bottom. Drop a little bit of the egg in. And if it starts sizzling real quick, then the oil is ready.
Not in the pan yet. I was adding the oil.
Okay. So yeah, show how you test it. You just drop a little bit of egg in there.
Yep. I dropped some in. It's not sizzling yet. Someone say.
Okay. So yeah, get it up to heat. So yeah, the most important thing is, you could cook these eggs ahead of time. You can make it like an omelet and dice it up, or you could just scramble it right before. The other thing that you would have pre-cooked there is the rice, and other than that, just all raw ingredients.
We got plenty of that cooked up.
So let them cook a little bit, then you can move them. So because we don't want it, too
we want them fluffy,
broken down. You want some clumps in there, so you see it in the. That's why I usually make like an omelet and then dice it up. But you can do it that way.
You just wanted to watch me crack eggs under pressure. I get it.
And you did a great job, by the way. So if those are done, then I can't tell. Yeah, I mean you can.
They're not done
make
yet.
sure they're
Still
cooked. And then, no, they still look a little loose. And then take them out and put them in a bowl or something. So because we're going to add those in later on. And I like this dish because then you could use a lot of leftovers. If you got a little bit of carrot or a little bit of onion or whatever you want.
Especially with the produce, this is usually my go-to for. I see there's a Hawaiian twist here, but usually my go-to for getting rid of veggies that are about. My go-to for getting rid of veggies that are about to go bad is making fried rice, and I feel like that's where we're going.
So the pan, so it doesn't burn up, you still get it on the heat, right? So you can pour the oil in there. Pour some oil. Get a good dose.
Yep.
Do a good dose onto the bottom.
Yep.
And you have some chopped garlic there.
Yes, I do.
And the ginger.
Keep it. Yes, I do.
You can push them both in at the same time. Yeah, garlic in.
Garlic.
And what did you, or you chop it?
What'd you say?
Did you chop the ginger or did you grate it?
I chopped it.
That's fine.
We minced the garlic.
Yeah, you're gonna need a little more oil in there, son. You're only gonna go for about 30 seconds. Remember the rule? When it starts to turn light brown, it's ready, and then you got to throw your other ingredients in. If it gets too dark, garlic gets ruin the whole dish. So we're getting pretty close to 30 seconds on that. So what's next? We have the Portuguese sausage. Throw that right in there. That is pre-cooked, diced up. We just want to kind of put a little crisp on it. So you get that Portuguese sausage. We still got more things to cook, so it's already cooked.
Yep.
You're just kind of browning it up a little bit. So you can move it around, give it a shake. And now we're going to add some other ingredients. The raw ingredient we have is the carrot. And if you cut those thin enough, you throw those in there. They won't cook, but they'll still have a bite. Very good.
Oh yeah.
Now, like I said, I mean, if you had onion you want to throw in there, or cauliflower, I mean, really anything you want will go in this dish. It's a good leftover dish to throw ingredients in there. So that's good. So get the carrots moving. You don't have to stack them. You can move it around, move it around the pan.
Yep.
It's kind of sauteing
okay to go
right
to high
now.
heat now, or should we still be?
Yeah, you can go out. You can go up a little higher. You can go up a little higher. Just make sure you know. And you can scrape the bottom of the pan a little bit too to give all those goodies ripped off the bottom. That's a concentrated flavor profile that's created by the sugars. Yeah, you're deglazing with the oil. So, it's pulling up all those goodies that are on there, all the sugar from the carrots and the meat. And yummy. So next will be our ingredient that will probably tell everybody what the dish is. You know what it is, Dan, right?
That rice is going in there?
Yeah, the rice. So you want to go with about 4 cups or 4 big scoops. You don't want to overwhelm the pan. So one big, a scoop per person is probably plenty, and that'll be enough for 4 people. I mean, when I make rice, or pasta, I always make like double or triple the amount.
Oh, rice?
Because then I
never
have.
know.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
know how
rice.
much you're going to actually eat, right?
Rice, I always make too much.
Well, which is good because now you have it for other things like this particular dish, or if you wanted to throw some into some soup. I mean, over here when we do a burrito, it's usually got some refried beans in there and it's got rice.
Yep.
And you could add that tomato to that rice with some peppers, a little hot, and all of a sudden you got some Spanish rice. So there's some easier things that you can do. So you want to make sure you move that rice around because it will stick to the bottom of the pan no matter what kind of rice, a clump. So make sure you move that around so it doesn't stick. But you want to make sure that it gets nice and caramelized so it gets that nice little bite to it. Let's add some other ingredients.
Okay.
Some other goodies. Probably go with the ingredients that you don't want to break up. So you have
Peas.
the peas. Put the peas in and the pineapple. Peas, pineapple,
Kimchi.
and you can throw the egg in.
Where's that list? Yep.
Well, you got egg left.
How about the kimchi?
The kimchi, do a pre-mix on that first, just to get those ingredients all mixed up. Okay, so we have all our ingredients in except for the kimchi and then some sauce. So when you found the kimchi, was it like filled to the top with the liquid?
Yes, but I drained it beforehand.
You did, good. And sometimes they put big leaves of cabbage in there, and you want to chop it up a little bit so you're not getting a big old
Yeah, it was mostly
head of cabbage. Okay. Now, they do have different heats. I had one the other day. It was spicy. It was not overly hot, but it was nice and spicy. And you could usually tell it's got a lot more red in there because they put a chili paste in there. So which one did you get? Was it mild, or what did you end up getting?
I will show you in 1 second.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's spicy. This is what I usually end up going to. It's just Korean style. It's got
yeah.
flakes on it.
Yeah, so it's nice and spicy. Plus that Portuguese sausage will have a little bit of a bite to it. Not too much, but a little bit of a bite. So if you add that kimchi into the dish, blend that together. You got the heat up there pretty good? Doesn't have to be on high.
Yeah, no, I actually.
There you go. Nice. So that kimchi is going to give it a unique, as we say, island flavor. In Hawaii, we cook with a lot of kimchi.
Is the main reason you had me drain it just so the rice wouldn't get soggy while it's
frying?
Soggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need the liquid in there. I mean, that's like pickle juice. It's like in there to keep the brine going. Yep. It's a vinegar brine, so you don't want to really pour it in there.
Yep.
That's a good call. So now we're going to add those sauces near the end. You have a little bit of soy. And if you notice, we didn't put any salt in there or pepper.
No,
you don't really need it. Yeah, pour a little bit of soy in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seems like a lot of soy. How much you put in there?
How much you called for?
So that's good. That's good. Now put in a little bit of the hoisin.
Okay.
And then a little bit of the oyster. And those are concentrated flavors. So you only put a little bit. I think we call for what, a tablespoon?
Yeah, I was going to say.
And the oyster actually it's made from oysters. So it doesn't taste that fishy, but it has that kind of a Worcestershire kind of flavor profile because Worcestershire is made from anchovies. So if you don't like fish, don't put the oyster sauce in, right?
Skip the step.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it doesn't overpower the dish. These are combinations of flavors. So when they all blend together with the flavors that are in the pan, along with the soy and the hoisin, which is a sweeter flavored sauce, it's just a nice combo at the end. And you can turn the heat up if you want real quick just to kind of get that sauce to caramelize a little bit over the food, and then turn it off, and it's done. And you don't want to overcook it. Now, as we said, you could substitute anything you want in there, Dan. Like you said, you'd probably go all veggies, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have done it with chicken and stuff. This is just usually when it comes to produce and I'm just trying to get rid of things before I go grocery shopping the next time. This is a easy dish to just throw every vegetable you have in it.
Right. Right. It's really nice. I mean, I've cooked with tofu before. I'd go with the firm and put it in last, kind of like the egg.
Yep.
Eggplant. I'd saute up that eggplant first, so it was just about nice and soft and tender. Then add the garlic and then add the other ingredients. You don't want to overcook it because then it just falls apart in the dish.
Yeah.
But mushrooms, you can go with mushrooms. Now there was some green onions that were going to go in right at the end.
Yep.
Correct.
Those two.
So.
Yep.
With green onions, I don't add them at the beginning because they're a strong water base, plant, and what will happen is they'll break down and disappear into your dish. So if you add it at the end,
do you add it into the pan or do you add it as you plate?
Actually, that's a good question, Dan. I'll add like 3/4 of it into the pan, and then the rest after you blend it in. Then when you plate it, then you can toss it on top. It's a nice color contrast. Yeah, Dan, you did fantastic. You're right.
Blend them in.
And this is a dish that you can make ahead of time if you got other things like sweet and sour chicken or a pork chop or whatever you want to make. This holds up. See how by using that type of rice that you used, it flakes off. It doesn't get all clumpy and mushy.
We don't want mushy.
No. So remember what our cause is. It's for the Rhode Island hospitality folks.
Yep. Link in the bio.
Link in the bio. Go donate. Help out. Hey, I wanted to show you one last thing.
Yep.
If I could plug something here.
Of course.
A friend of mine in Hawaii has a product that's called Fog Safe Drain Guards. So we're all these people at home cooking. So if you cook anything in fat, like you're cooking up bacon or whatever, what do you do with the fat? You put it in a jar? Nah, forget about it. You don't throw it down your drain. So this is called a drain guard. So it's made of recycled paper. It looks like a drain. Has a cotton wadding in the middle here. So when you finish cooking, you pour the excess grease in here. This is the stuff they use to soak up oil spills. And it absorbs in here. So you could turn this whole thing over and it won't spill out. So now you could throw it away or use it as a fire starter in your barbecue.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Or your fire pit in the backyard, recycle. Yeah. So it's called Fog Safe. I mean, you can get them on Amazon.com.
How's the plating? What do you think?
You know what? I think you did great. Now, if you had some sliced avocados to go over the top, that would look pretty cool.
Spice it up.
Spice it up. I think it's great, and I think you deserve a good cheers for that, both of you.
Like that. There's a link in the bio. It'll bring you to a GoFundMe. We're trying to raise money. Again, last week we raised $210. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at 7:30 p.m.
Where Dan's going to break down a whole side of beef. I am Chef Rock. We'll be coming to you live on the 1-800-CHEF-ROCK show. Actually, that's not the name of it.